Good afternoon. I hope you're well on this beautiful spring afternoon. So I've gone out and I've harvested some beautiful eucalyptus, our lavender. This is grosso, and also your just plain rosemary, just your plain garden variety of rosemary. I've also got some lemongrass here and some apple cider vinegar and some witch hazel, and today I'm going to teach you how to make your own insect repellent. Let's get started first with a really simple, cheap and effective mozzie repellent spray that you can make at home. So all you need to do is get yourself a jar. Now it's not a mason jar because we're not using anything hot in it, and it isn't for consumption. It's not for human consumption. So we don't need to be in a sterile environment, hence why I'm outside. Okay, so the main ingredient that I want you to get, it would be fantastic if you could have this planted and using fresh, because fresh is best, is the lemongrass. So this is our beautiful lemongrass, all chopped up. I want to use quite a bit of it. There's no set recipe. You can basically eyeball this and using the ingredients that you have. I've got my fresh peppermint here, so all I'm going to do with the fresh peppermint is just lightly chop it. Stems and all are going to go in. Now I'm not going to pack this. We don't want to be absolutely packing it because we want the liquids to really go through everything. That's really super important. Now we've got some garlic is the next one. Now again, it's not for human consumption, so I'm leaving the skin on. I'm just going to roughly chop it so we've got surface area for the apple cider vinegar to break down the compounds that we need. Probably can't even see me doing that with that in the way. Here we go. Chop him up. So I've got 5 cloves of garlic. That's all I think. You don't need to go overboard with the garlic. It will smell good though. So when you're doing a barbecue and there's lots of mozzies around, you can get like a nice couple of chunks of garlic. Chop it up, get a little bowl and just sit it beside like on a little bit of heat. Not so it's going to cook, but just so it releases that aroma. It will smell good too. Now I went down to the creek and I got myself some fresh eucalyptus leaves. Now it doesn't really matter what species you use, as long as it's the fresh growth. So these were on our eucalyptus tree that got burnt, and that needed a little bit of a trim. So of course, most of it, of the volatile oils are in the leaves, so we're going to go for the leaves. It was in the sheep and horse paddock, so they've had a little bit of a nibble, but that's okay. So, oh, this is a nice one. That's a good one. So I'll get that one out too. So look, we're not, again, no hard and fast rule. I'm not chopping it very, very small. I want it to just lightly get in there. Oh, it smells good. I think this is Eucalyptus radiata. Any of my eucalyptus friends out there, they can correct me if I'm wrong. It's hard to tell now because all of our eucalypts have burnt. I can't remember who's who, and because all the trunks, you can usually tell by their trunk. But because they're all black, I can't remember who's who. Anyway, I might leave that for there. That's pretty good. And then the next is our lavender. So again, it doesn't matter that we're putting the stems in. The last ingredient that I want to do is rosemary. So I want to fairly fill this jar up I press it down a little bit, but it's not packing it down. It's not like shoving it in there. Now with your peppermint as well, if you don't have fresh peppermint, that's okay. You know, you can even use tea bags. Your peppermint tea bags is just fine. Just put quite a lot in there, and you can leave it in the actual bags as well if you like. Now you can do this with alcohol, but I think that's quite an expensive way to do an insect repellent. We're going to be wanting to have this, I'm putting a little bit more lavender in just to fill up the top. This is going to be steeping now for a good, say, 6 weeks. So once this is steeped, they'll be well and truly out. So this is the time to do it. The mozzies will be well and truly out. And basically too, once you strain it, make sure that you put another one straight on. Okay, so I've got myself some certified organic witch hazel. This is the witch hazel I use in my cream. It's very, very expensive. I can't believe I'm using it on insect repellent, but that's okay. You can get some fairly cheaper witch hazel from a supermarket, I believe. Now this is about a litre. I want to put that in first because I want at least a litre in there. And now apple cider vinegar. This is because, again, we're not ingesting it. So normally, like other videos that you've seen me do with like garlic tinctures and garlic syrups and fire cider, things like that, I use a certified organic apple cider vinegar because you're drinking it. But for insect repellent, you can use a pasteurized, cheaper apple cider vinegar. You know, still good. So it's your choice. So the rule of the thumb is to try and cover all of the herbs up to the very, very, very top, as high as you can go. I'm going to let this sit. I'm going to agitate it a little bit because that they are quite woody herbs. It is best to agitate it a fair bit. This one actually can sit on your windowsill. You can see those bubbles, like as I move it around as well, it's going to, because the lemongrass is chopped quite small. That's the thing about chopping things really quite small. You don't get that surface area. So I'm going to agitate that, and I'll probably tip it upside down after a couple of days. We're going to be straining this after 6 weeks and putting it into a squirty bottle. And that way you can squirt it on your clothes, on your outdoor furniture, and on your curtains too.